All right, let's get into this. I have respect for Craig, of course, a screw attack, and also side scrollers. I do like his show. I'm not subscribed, but I do watch it. But let's get into this. The end of ownership.
This is a war on ownership, and we're losing. Not because
Yes.
people decided they didn't want to own things anymore, but because companies have slowly convinced us to stop asking one very simple question. When I pay for something, do I actually own it? Because
Craig, you're old head like me. I saw this from in 2014 when I started my channel, and stated, "Y'all ain't gonna like what the future gonna be like." And you know what I did? I didn't go with what the companies did. I didn't pay for what the companies did. Just saying. The number one aspect, I've said it multiple times and say it again. We walk down this path. If you spend your money and told them, I'll give an example. The best example. Concord came out. People didn't really buy it. 2 weeks later, it got shut down, didn't it? Yeah. Why? Because people didn't buy it. So if it wasn't buying the thing that you don't like, the companies would not follow that because the money wasn't following the bullshit. I mean, what else can I say?
increasingly the answer is no. You pay $70 for a game, you download it, you play it for hundreds of hours. Maybe you buy the DLC, maybe you buy some cosmetics. In every sense of the word, it feels like you.
That's one thing I ain't doing. I have a video about that on my channel called What's WTF for them. I ain't buying no cosmetics for no shit. Nope, nope, nope. Done. I have bought DLC with cosmetics, which is the Amiibos. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna be lying to people. I'm being factual. I use the Amiibos to make my cosmetics to that. I wanted the figurines, so I'm not gonna deny that either. But outside of that, I'm not buying no. I'm not spending money for no cosmetics. Not at all. Never. I never have, except for Amiibos. But I wanted the figurines as well too. One of these days, I will show my computer that I built. Just the timing has been whatever. But inside my computer right now, I have the Metroid Dread Amiibo, Samus, and then I have the Emmy on the bottom part of the graphics card, like it's looking up towards Samus. Like that's, yeah, I like stuff like that.
Bought the game. But legally, no. You just acquired a license. Permission to access the game under a set of terms. And under certain circumstances, that permission can disappear. It's not some hypothetical future, it's already happening. Look at Ubisoft and The Crew. When Ubisoft shut down the servers, they didn't just.
Oh my goodness, Craig, please, you're gonna use that example? Ubisoft told you from the get-go it was always online. That's a no word for me. They told you from the get-go it was always online. And you're shocked when the servers, because here's the thing, anything that needs a server will eventually shut down. Why that? That's one of the reasons I don't want my saving data on Nintendo servers. I want it to be on mine. That's why I have me a home server, because I ain't trust nobody else's server. My pictures and anything, document stuff is on my home server, because I don't trust at all. At all.
Turn off the multiplayer. They made the game completely unplayable. People had paid for that. They had it sitting in their libraries, and then one day it's just gone. And that's the distinction I don't think people understand. If I buy a physical book and the publisher goes bankrupt tomorrow, I still have the book. If I buy a Blu-ray and the studio stops supporting the movie 10 years from now, my disc doesn't just magically stop.
True, but if you bought a disc and it needs to hit the internet to start, I mean, online, always online, so you could play your DVDs. And funny enough, people don't understand this. Blu-rays did that shit at the beginning. People forget that. At the beginning, Blu-rays did that shit. I remember it. That's why Sony PlayStation was a better Blu-ray player because you had to get the new patches for the DVD players at the time became little mini computers because you had to get the latest patch for work. Because I remember I put in Blu-ray inside of the Blu-ray player, like, you got to download something. I'm like, what the? It did. It did. You don't do that now. That's good, but it did. And that's what we call that is what the crew is.
Working. But digital products, yeah, it's different. Because we're building a massive collection of things that ultimately depend on someone else's computer, someone else's server, someone else's storefront, and someone else's company staying in business. We just got an incredible example of why that's dangerous. And it doesn't even involve video games.
No, it didn't.
Video games. PBS in St. Louis had an archive containing roughly 70 years of television history, more than 50 terabytes of data. They stored it through a cloud storage company, and guess what? That company went default. And guess what? All of a sudden, PBS couldn't access their own archive. Think about
what did I just said? If it's somebody else's server, that's gonna happen. It would inevitably go bye-bye. That's why I have my own server. I'm sorry. Me, myself, and my server is what it is. And also I have a backup, of course, a backup drive. I don't trust shit like that, bro.
That 70 years of material that they created. And now they got to go to the courts to try to get that material back. That data apparently still exists, but this is not a story about 50 terabytes accidentally getting deleted. It's actually about control. PBS created the content. PBS paid to store the content, but PBS didn't control the infrastructure where that content lived. And when the company was sitting between them and the data disappeared, so did their access. This is the entire ownership problem in one simple story. If somebody else controls access to your stuff, how much of it do you truly own? And gaming is moving further and further in that direction. Digital storefronts, hey, we all get it. Super convenient. I use them. I'm not even anti-digital. I love being able to download a game immediately. The problem isn't digital.
And I'm not going to disagree with him too. I only give that grace to indies. Outside indies, no, I don't do that. No, I don't do that. No. The last couple of times I downloaded digital game outside of indies was on the Wii U, which I was double dipping, but I was not stupid enough to not have a physical version of the damn games I downloaded. Because I ain't dumb like that.
Distribution. The problem is digital dependency. When I bought one of these games growing up, once I got it, the transaction was over. The publisher was done with me. I could play the game, sell it, trade it, loan it to a friend, give it to my friends, put it in a box for 30 years, and the publisher couldn't do a damn thing about it. And that's what ownership means. But publishers have been trying to get away from this model for years. Remember online passes, one-time use codes, the industry's war against used games? Publishers have hated the used game market forever because someone could buy my copy of a game and the publisher didn't get another sale. Digital distribution solves that problem. You can't sell your Steam library, and you can't trade in those digital PlayStation games, and you can't hand over a digital Xbox game the way you could when they came on a disc. The platform controls the storefront, the ecosystem controls the access. And you can't simply pack up that library and take it somewhere else. And now add subscriptions, Game Pass, PlayStation Plus, Ubisoft Plus, whatever. And to be clear, I'm not even saying these services are bad. Game Pass is a fantastic deal. The issue is what the subscription model trains us to accept.
Exactly. And that's what I said. You say that. I don't. Game Pass is the best. No, I didn't. No, it's not. Even people who make any games, I was like, how the hell y'all make money? I gotta say how Microsoft make money. I gotta say how the gaming make money. Because how you know your games did well if you don't have a physical freaking number to tell you I sold. With easily you could say, I sold 20 million. I did a video about this. I sold 20 million. Well, then you should get paid for 20 million. But when they don't own your game and they could buy it digitally and whatever, that's a different story, isn't it? Yes.
You don't build a library, you access one.
Yeah.
The game gets removed, gone. Licensing agreement expires, gone. Stop paying, yeah, all gone. And that's perfectly reasonable for a subscription. The bigger issue is the distinction between subscribing, licensing, and actually owning something has become increasingly blurry. And here's where these companies are actually very careful. Go look at the storefronts. Steam, PlayStation, Xbox, they generally aren't putting a giant button in front of you screaming, "You'll own this forever." They're pretty damn smart. The terminology is carefully constructed because legally, what you're getting isn't the same as buying a physical object and taking unrestricted possession of it. But think about the consumer experience. You pay $70. The game enters your library. You can have it there for years. Everything about the experience feels like you're building a collection, except you don't have the same rights that traditionally came with actually owning one. You can't resell it. You usually can't transfer it. You can't necessarily preserve it independently. And in certain cases, you can't guarantee you'll always be able to access it.
That's why
is
I'm against
the disconnect.
Yeah.
We're spending ownership level money for something that can provide considerably fewer ownership rights.
Correct.
And we're already reaching a point where even physical games don't necessarily solve this. You can buy a game on a disc, put it in your console, and immediately have to download 80 gigs worth of game or something.
True.
Sometimes major parts of the game aren't even on the disc. Sometimes you need an internet connection. Sometimes.
True. And who let the first part you just said, who did that? Who did that? Oh yeah, Sony and Microsoft did that in 2012. And y'all let that shit go. And then for some reason, because we were popular, you dumbass Nintendo fans was like, oh my goodness, yeah, we should be, remember, I did a video, I know he's different now, but go back to watching the video when I did that debate with Player Essence. We should be like Sony, we should be like Microsoft, Nintendo should be like Sony and Microsoft. Oh, it should be, you change your mind now, motherfucker? Yeah. Y'all wanted that. So what? So as an old person used to say, what's the blood crying? You asked for it, you got it. Now you're crying for it? Please.
You need authentication. So what happens in 20 years when those servers aren't there anymore? What exactly is that?
Exactlamundo. Anything in any server always online, you don't own. Point blank period. And I said that back then again, go back watch my earlier videos, early video, 2014 videos. Y'all ain't gonna like where this game is gonna get to, because you're not gonna own nothing. I've said that.
Is it the game? Or is it a physical key that asks a server for permission to play the game? This is where this becomes bigger than someone just being mad because they can't play an old Ubisoft game anymore. We're talking about preservation. Video games are culture. They're history. Doom, Half-Life, Halo.
And it's not up to the company to preserve them. It's not. It's not up to the company, and it's not up to the company to preserve the movies either. There's no mass movie library out there that everybody could use. There's none. So stop it. Many of these kids never watch a Casablanca. Many of these kids never watch Pet Sematary. So they don't have that. So let's be honest, Craig. Come on now. You're old head like me, so stop it.
Mario, Metal Gear, Mass Effect. These games represent technology, art, and culture of the eras they came from.
Correct.
We preserve books. We preserve movies. We preserve music. But increasingly, preserving a video game.
No, we do not. That's the thing, Kiru. If a library wants to preserve games, good. We preserve books by a library somewhere. We preserve movies by a library somewhere. No, but not everybody has access to all of it. If the library is in Philadelphia, the person has to travel from Florida to Philadelphia to see it and maybe play for a couple minutes or whatever. He can't take it back to Florida. It's the same thing with the dang-on movie. And it's the same thing with the dang-on book. So stop it. There's millions of books that's in Europe that never even touch America. When I went over there, started thinking with the World War II and stuff, and I was over there in 2017, I think it was something like that. There's books that never came over here from soldiers that was from here, but never came to America. To talk about how the World War II was and everything. I saw it, but none of you guys saw it because it's preserved for there, but you ain't going over there to bring it back over here. Preservation is just saying, hey, showing, this was what it was back in the day, and that's it. The way y'all talk is like, we should preserve this for future generations. That's up to us to do that individually. A news reporter say, hey, remember Mario was on a calculator. You could put Mario on a calculator. And how game was back then. Megabytes was so small, whatever. That's as far as it goes. That's all it is. Nobody's going to play that. So let's be honest with this, man.
It require authentication servers, storefronts, launchers, cloud infrastructure, DRM, and cooperation from companies that may not even exist 30 years from now. And companies are not preservation societies. They're businesses. If keeping something alive makes them money, they'll probably keep it alive. But when
you just asked them a question. Thank you. Thank you. Look, I have made my music company. I have see. Instant glance. Let me try to see here. The comment. I can tell you what right now. One album, blah blah blah. I didn't preserve it very well, and it's lost the history. And it was a good album too. When I was back in high school, and people used to be like, "Hey, give me a copy of that, give me a copy of that," and nobody has a copy of that because it's lost the history because the music was so good and everything. So there you go. That's gone. But I gotta do. Comment 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have done basically around 13 albums in my music industry, my music career. 13 albums, and it's up to me to preserve those 13 albums that I'm doing right now. I'm working on 5 right now, 5 albums right now. Who's gonna preserve them? Me. Ain't gonna be anybody else. If somebody loves the album, yeah. But the way things are now, I don't even know what I'm doing in the future because right now, until now, all my albums are sent from the last album I did in 2012 was all CDs. This year, I got one that's supposed to come out pretty soon. It's going on Spotify. It's going to go on Apple. It's going to go on all those on Amazon. But are people going to buy it? I don't know. I'm just doing it for the fun. Something physical, you gotta buy it, you can put it down, yeah. But there's not many people out there who want to press CDs and pay for the CDs, the physical version of the CDs and the art and everything. Even though I'm gonna put time into making the CD art like I always do. What can I say?
Doesn't. Eventually, someone's going to look at the server bill, and it's going to be gone. That's why ownership matters. Ownership protects things after the company stops caring about them. And I do not think the answer is rejecting technology. I'm not throwing away Steam. I'm not canceling every subscription. I'm not even telling everybody they need a wall full of cartridges like me. Digital games aren't the enemy. Convenience isn't the enemy. The answer is giving consumers option. If I pay...
Bullshit. Straight out and out bullshit. Let's rewind that again.
Full Steam. I'm not canceling every subscription. I'm not even telling everybody they need a wall full of cartridges like me. Digital games.
No, you don't.
Games aren't the enemy.
Digital games is not the enemy. You're correct.
Convenience isn't the enemy.
Convenience is the enemy. That's why we lost a lot of shit because convenience. Convenience is the enemy. Being lazy and then when things go rough, you're like, oh shit. That's
The answer is giving consumers option. If I pay full...
They give you option, and you have the option to pay or not pay. It starts with us, Craig. Like I just stated, the crew. Oh, always online. Oh, always online game. Yeah, I'm not gonna be paying that. That's the option. Yes or no? No. Good. Well, you ain't gonna be playing the latest game. I don't give a fuck. This is literally one of the reasons I ain't play Fortnite. I don't want to play the Fortnite. One is all the money's going towards skins, which I hate that. And then I said, what now? And it's always no. Have at it. I took the option, Craig, to not buy it. And I'm happy with the option to not buy it. Because I don't want to fund a game that I do like and tell them, oh, then, well, we're going to put it all digital. And then it's like, okay, so I'm going to give you digital money for a game that I might be interested in, but you can take it away from me anytime I want. And then by doing that, you're going to keep on giving me, and then the next, like I said, the sequel to that game is going to be the exact same thing. And then you know what? Then it best for me to save my money. Why spend money on something that I ain't gonna own and I can never touch again if it ever goes offline? Save the $60, save the $100.
Full retail price for a game, there should be a reasonable way for that game to survive after the storefront dies. And that's why I love what...
No. That's not up to you. It shouldn't.
GOG has done with DRM-free game.
Yeah. And as I did research on that, they don't have all the games. One, two. A lot of platforms don't want to put their games on GOG because of reason three. A lot of people pirate the games. Imagine that, motherfucking hell. I'm not against GOG, but let's talk reality here. Let's not talk stupidity. I'm not against GOG. Cool for GOG to do that. But a lot of the games that I bought in the last couple of years, it's not on GOG. And I gotta go to a voting system to try to get the game on there. And I could do that, but then the publisher be like, I don't want to put my game on there because they're gonna steal the games. And it has happened. So, no.
You purchase a DRM-free game, you download the installer, you can back it up, put it on another drive, you keep it. You don't need to ask GOG for permission every single time you launch it. That should not feel revolutionary. That's how buying software used to work. And maybe the most important...
You're correct. That's how buying software used to work. And PC people turn away from that for Steam. You went for the convenience. Again, what part of the consumers were the reason that caused the problem?
The thing we demand is clarity. If I'm paying for temporary access, make that unmistakably clear.
They did with that. I remember when the crew came out, it said always online. And that's why I said, hell nah. To the nah, nah, nah. Hell to the nah, hell nah. That's why I didn't buy the game. I love racing game, Need for Speed and all. And when I saw that, I was like, what? Oh, hell no. That's why I didn't buy the game, Craig. They told you up front. They did. They did. If they didn't tell you up front and y'all got tricked, I would be more sympathetic to y'all. But they told you up front it was always online. So no.
I'm paying for subscription.
It was in Ubisoft told you, and it was in the reviews.
Right, I know what I'm getting. If I'm paying for a license that theoretically could disappear someday, I should understand that too. Because the problem isn't necessarily that the companies are lying to us. In many cases, legally, they're doing the exact opposite. They're very carefully telling us what this transaction actually is.
Thank you. So if they're telling you, you made the choice to do it. That's why that's why when they say if they stop the whatever it is, the thing up there, that's why they're not winning because they're using that dumbass argument. Take the crew out of it and use something else. Do not use the crew. Don't use the crew at all. Chuck that away. That's a dumb argument. Find something else.
The question is whether consumers have actually stopped paying attention, because slowly across the entire entertainment industry, we've exchanged ownership for convenience. Movies, music, software, games. Our collections increasingly exist on computers we don't control, operated by companies we're simply trusting to still be there tomorrow. And sometimes those companies just disappear. Just ask PBS. 70 years of history, 50 terabytes of data that they created, they paid to store, and now they're fighting to regain control of it. It's not a warning. This isn't about nostalgia. It's not about being scared of technology. It's about a very simple question. How much control over the things we pay for are we willing to exchange for convenience? Because if I'm renting something, fine, tell me I'm renting it. If I'm subscribing, fine, tell me I'm subscribing. But if I'm spending the same $70 I used to spend to own a game, I think it's a reasonable ask. What exactly am I getting for $70? And more importantly, will I still have access to it 20 years from now?
No.
Because if we stop caring about that distinction, eventually we're going to wake up with an enormous digital library filled with things we spent thousands of dollars on, and then realize the word library didn't exactly mean exactly what we thought it meant. We didn't own the shelves, we didn't own the building, and in some cases, we didn't even own the book.
Exactly.
We just had access. And nobody ever promised how long that access would last.
Correct.
If you agree, hit the like button. If you think I'm wrong, tell me why in the comments, because I genuinely want to know, when you pay full price for a digital game, what rights do you think that $70 should actually give you?
I can't tell you because of, like I say, it's a digital game. We went that route. They gave you a license. The reason I'm saying this because I know, when you play certain games, we don't read the TOS. Let's be honest. When you put in that digital game, when the digital got downloaded, you got a long TOS up in front, and you got to click the button, and we sign it away. Nobody's reading all that. It's a license. That's what it is. So that jargon is already law. You're not changing that law. You don't have the money enough to change that law. You don't have the urgency to change that law. The time for changing that law was back in the 2000 teens. And y'all spoke what y'all wanted, and that's what you got. So the answer to your question is no, you ain't going to have it. It's already gone beyond that. Best thing to do is to fight for physical and try to tell people, hey, make physical games. But if they don't want to do it, then the future is we ain't going to own nothing. And that's what it is. And that's why I myself said, you know what? I'm good. I have over 200 Switch games, Switch 2 games, Switch games, PlayStation, Wii games, all the games. I got all that. I can play for the rest of my life. So it is what it is. And that's just what it is, Craig. You know the answer is that. You know what I'm saying is 100% true. But you got to make it for YouTube. The companies are not going to go for that anymore. When people start doing the whole DLC thing, we went for that. When people start doing the whole, I could the Glocks thing, we all went for that. Not me really, but whatever. When they went for the put down $100 for this $60 game so you could play 5 days earlier, y'all went for that dumb shit. Not me. So, yeah, human nature. So sorry, Craig. I don't think there's nothing you could do. It's written into law right now. There's nothing you could do to stop it, unless it's predatorial or something like. When I mean predatorial, like for children and stuff like that, you might get a chance, and that's the best chance to find to get it. But even with that, the company's gonna find a way around it because you already fed this monster already, and you gonna tell me the monster's not gonna come every time you fed that bear free food, and the bear knows every time you come around, I'm gonna come around it and I'll get free food. And then when he comes around and you ain't giving enough free food, what would the bear do? It might start attacking you. So you know what? Y'all created this beast. The consumers created this beast. That's what it is. Go digital as best if you want to. Go physical you have to. I already made up my decision. I am gonna get key cards. I know people say that. I'm cool with it. I'm gonna get all full cartridge game as best as I can. If a game come out of cartridge third party is a guaranteed buy for me. If it's a good third party game and it's a key card, then I'll buy it as well too. That's the closest to digital I'll go for a full big opening game, a full, AAA, quote unquote AAA game. If it's an indie game, you get digital because I understand the circumstances. You respect that. And if it does fall off, hey, I played a digital game, I had fun. Like Dust Elysium, it's a digital game. I wanted a physical or ice or icy. It's all digital. I have it on my Switch. It can disappear anytime I want, and it sucks. I would love to get the physical of that game, but it is what it is. That's what it's gonna be. But outside of physical, full of the cartridge, a key card, a key disc, which is basically what a Sony PlayStation game is, what I've got, where you gotta install anywhere from, again, the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, I gotta install, or a indie game gain a digital purchase from me, which I will. But again, majority of my indie games, not all, like Shredder's Revenge, I have 2 versions of a physical game of that. Fight and Range, I have a physical version of the game. What was it? What's that game? Horizon Zero Turbo. I have a physical version of the game. When they did Top Gear, which is basically Top Racing now, physically from old stuff, I got a physical version of the game. The Capcom Collection 1, 2, whatever it is, I got a physical version of those games because I wanted those games physically. I will go for physical anytime, every time, if it's worth it. We've gone too far gone now, and that's just what it is. With that said, you tell me what y'all think. Remember, there's no perfect games out there. What's perfect to you is not perfect to me. What's perfect to me is not perfect to you. Simply enjoy games on all consoles, including PC. Peace out.